It's the National Football League on EA Sports.
And we'll be watching Terry McLaurin. He's been torching secondaries all season, now closing in on 1,200 yards.
It's the Bengals and the Bills on Monday Night Prime Time.
From the banks of the Ohio River, there's a look at what's now known as Paycor Stadium here in Cincinnati. Tonight, we've got one last present under the tree, our final Monday Nighter of the year, between the Buffalo Bills and the Cincinnati Bengals. Hi again, everyone. I'm Brandon Gordon. To my left, Charles Davis. And Charles, you focus on this Bengal team entering play. They come in riding high, just one loss in their last 7 games.
It's a very focused team, very disciplined. They've kept the penalties to a minimum, and they're winning football games.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Bills, they've come in on a nice run of recent form, 4 wins out of 5.
And they looked awfully good last week and came away with a 2-touchdown victory. They did have a few reasons for...
Tyler Bass about ready to get us going. And off we go to wrap up a busy weekend of football. This will be fielded inside the 5. Oh, a good return up past the 30. There he goes left side. Past the 20. And he will score. Touchdown, Bengals. Week after week, Charles, when we see this offense operate, I don't know, they just seem to get more impressive.
They certainly do, and let's face it, it's no surprise they're the best in the NFL in scoring. This team designs things well and executes even better. And here, it only takes a few snaps before they're in the end zone. That's how they demoralize teams. That's how they put them on notice.
Justin Tucker for the extra point. And he's got it to make it 7-0 Bengals. So how about that for an intriguing start? The opening kickoff of the ball game, return for a touchdown. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. And we will not see an attempt to match that return touchdown, as this will be a touchback and bring it out to the 25. So here come the Bills on offense for the first time. They'll be led out by the first overall pick from a couple of drafts ago, former Clemson Tiger Trevor Lawrence.
And he's had a great season so far throwing the football. Very likely could go over 4,000 yards with a good performance here. And even in an age of passing first, that is no small accomplishment.
Lock it, and get it.
Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones, trying to run inside, but nothing there. Calling no gain on the game's first play, and it's 2nd down now.
Come on,
Now Lawrence. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Rasul Douglas picks it, and his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Here come the Bengals now to take over. Now they're led out by the #1 overall pick back in 2018, Baker Mayfield.
Partner, do we still count this as the holiday season?
A little bit of a gray area, but I think you can.
Okay, well, we just passed it, right? Well, the gifts keep coming to our guy, don't they?
They do.
I mean, think about this now. Clinch the playoff spot, Offensive Player of the Week in Week 16. I think he's going to keep going. I think he's going to keep firing away. I don't think they pull back at all.
Yeah, and everybody for them rounding into form right now. Mayfield's throw here taken in by Isabella. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Now a first carry for Derrick Henry. Oh, he's got some breathing room. Derrick Henry all alone. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Boy, Charles, this offense is just so explosive. They lead the league in scoring, and another example of just how good they are right there on that play.
Yeah, we often overstate about how explosive teams are, but this team is truly a threat to score on every snap, especially on the first few plays of any series. And a big streak like that only adds to their reputation as the league's best offense.
Now Tucker to add the PAT. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. So 2 plays on that scoring drive. That's how they drew it up. And a long run into the end zone, and what a run it was. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So here come the Bills out for their second drive. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown. So decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan? Or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game?
They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete. So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. An inside give to Jones. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. Now, this defense for the Bengals, they were strong last week, CD, and that went over New England.
Yeah, and what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. On 4th down, here's Jamie Gillen on to punt. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. This is taken at the 23. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Bengals take over 1st and 10. The Bengal offense on their way out as we look at the playoff race in the AFC. What we do know, Charles, they will be in the playoffs. They currently sit at pole position number 1, but nothing's set in stone right now. They still have to earn that top spot.
And it makes me reflect back to preseason when you and I do our tours of camps. The prevailing message in each and every one of them was what? Win the division.
Win the division.
Win the division. You know you're in the playoffs. It means something. It means a home game. It means a number of other things, but winning the division is paramount. You're right. They won't step off the gas here.
This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards. The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. So a good grab there, and here's a guy, he had to learn the offense quick, just picked up as a free agent earlier this week.
And usually there's a connection, isn't there? A past coach, someone from the front office who knew him from before and thought that he could help this team.
On 2nd down, here's Henry. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. Able to get the 1 yard he needed, but nothing more. Here's Mayfield. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Mayfield on play action. He finds his man, Sky Moore. And he's got a first down as the tackle made at the Bills' 31-yard line. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Well, what a good contest here for our first Monday night game of 2023. Happy New Year, one and all, and thanks for pulling yourself away from all those college bowl games going on. For this, a great matchup between two of the real up-and-comers in the AFC.
On third down, Mayfield. Complete. It's Johnson.
And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line.
Holding offense.
So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just look in the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. To the sideline, and that is a heck of a catch as he was able to get both feet in. They do get 18, but even that won't be quite enough. It's fourth down. They'll run for it with Henry.
Oh, and fine work there as he gets this thing down to the 11-yard line.
A gutsy call. Turns out to be a good one, though. First down on a pickup of 11. They'll run it again with Henry. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Ready for the second quarter from Cincinnati. It's the Bengals with the football here. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. On 2nd down and 4. Mayfield got his tight end. That's complete. It's Graham. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on third down. On 3rd and 1, here's Mayfield. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Defense.
So obviously they will decline the penalty there, and the result is 6 points.
That penalty is declined.
Tucker now for the extra point. And it is now 21-0. That one in the books as a 12-play drive. And it ends with a Bengals score. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
The drive will start at the 25-yard line here as Rodgers will not return it.
Out come the Bills as we take a look at the playoff race in the AFC.
Well, including this week, 3 weeks remain in the regular season, Charles, and it is going to be interesting to see how this playoff picture sorts itself out before we head into the postseason.
Competitive, entertaining postseason, that's what we're always striving for. But I think we get it during the regular season, too. Because you never know how things are going to go during the final weeks of the season. Every team pulling out all the stops to get a better seed or just to get one of those 7 seats at the table.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Off the play fake. Here's Lawrence.
James has got it. Complete. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 12 yards that time and a Bills first down.
And, partner, they're locked in man coverage out left, and they end up running a crossing route. Rounded it a little bit more than a slant. And he's just going to angle himself towards the right side of the field, and that's very difficult for a defender to shadow him across all that ground.
Throwing now, Lawrence on first down.
And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. Not what they had in mind there. That's going to go as a loss of 4. To throw again on second down. Lawrence buying time to his left. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
He completes that to Garrett Wilson.
And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 32-yard line. They go back to the ground with Jones. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Looking to throw, Lawrence.
To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds.
3rd and 2, now Lawrence.
And Ingram hauls it in.
And he is going to have a Bills first down as they get 5 there on 3rd and 2.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
They're putting together a drive here in the final minutes of the half, but the coverage has been tight all game long, and they certainly want to keep them off the scoreboard here.
On second down, it's Jones. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal.
I'm ready.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime.
Now Lawrence to throw.
And he's going to be dropped back at the 15-yard line.
Chase Young.
He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
Well, that's not how you hope to draw it up there on 1st and goal, CD, by taking a sack like that.
Well, they tried to be aggressive, didn't they? They didn't want to try and work their way past the goal line. They wanted it right there on that play. Unfortunately,
under pressure, and they got to him again.
Chase Young
able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. They do get 7 out of that, but not enough to prevent a 4th down.
And that's a play that's not uncommon on 3rd and long because the offense is just hoping that somehow they can get a guy in space and follow some blockers downfield. Does a pretty nice job there getting a few yards, but he ends up getting stopped before he gets the first down.
The kick by Bass is good, and the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18.
So, Charles, they are on the board after that kick. So 3 drives, 3 points. Obviously not the start that you were hoping for, but they're able to erase that 0 off the scoreboard.
Yeah, I guess what you're saying is a point a drive is not what offenses are striving for by any stretch. They're happy they've got 3 now. They hope that that unlocks their offense for bigger points down the road.
And he returns this to the 22. The Bengals going to take over late in this first half. And just inside of a minute left, Charles, they got a pretty long field ahead of them. I'm curious to see how they play this, but you would think definitely enough time to at least try to get 3 out of this.
Yeah, you want to move with a nice sense of pace. You want to up the tempo a little bit, but you have to do it with some poise as well. You don't want to go so fast that you hurry yourself into mistakes. There's enough time to put points on the board if they do it right.
And even though they have the lead, you know that they would love to extend this lead before heading to the locker room.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw, Mayfield.
This will be caught downfield by Moore.
And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half.
Finding Johnson on the out route. That's complete.
Now another timeout called for by the offense as they get it right at the 30-second mark of this first half. On 1st and 10, Mayfield. He's going to look deep for more. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep, try and throw some air under it, and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
This one is caught. It's Moore. Touchdown! Sky Moore as the first half is winding down. And the Bengals are able to widen their lead here in this first half.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there. Unable to do so, that makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
Tucker now to add the point after. And they open the lead up now to 25 points. The drive summary that time, 5 plays.
And it was Sky Moore capping things off with a touchdown reception. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
No gain on the play there, 2nd down. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As we'll send you down to Orlando and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll get started over at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown Atlanta, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue, as you can see by the scoreline. Jeff Wilson, 2 touchdown runs to lead the way. From there, let's head west to see what's going on with the Raiders at home in Las Vegas. And it was the visiting San Francisco 49ers that come in and get the victory. Kareem Hunt, a touchdown run in the victory. Finally, let's get to the country music capital of the world and see what's happening with the Titans at home in Nashville. And they were winners in their ball game over the visiting Dallas Cowboys. James Robinson, what a game. 3 touchdown runs in the victory. With that, let's take a look at the next-gen stats for Buffalo in that first half. And not much went right in those first 2 quarters. You can see the numbers on the ground there. Not a whole lot to write home about so far. Meanwhile, for the Bengals, you get a look at what they were able to do throwing the football. And whatever they've done, it's worked, as they have the lead through 2 quarters of play. Final adjustments being made for the second half. Whether they'll amount to much in a game that's already pretty well decided, well, that's another question. Nevertheless, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, thanks. Yeah, that's something to consider. Are we in for more one-way traffic here in this second half? It has not been a competitive game to this point.
The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway.
And no run back here as the 3rd quarter will commence with a touchback.
Out come the Bills now as they'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter.
CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history, and that's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late. That was.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by Quan Williams.
And the Bengals are going to take possession of the football.
Partner, I see you reaching for the white flag. Put it down. I don't want you throwing it, but I understand why. Because if you do, you're hoping they might actually stop this game because we're in blowout territory right now. That interception just surrendered any momentum they built up in the locker room during halftime. So, game plan, it's in the garbage. Time to try something new in this one.
Henry again on second down.
And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30.
73 yards rushing for him in this one as he starts to draw nearer to a 1,500-yard campaign.
A first down carry for Henry. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down about the 21 or 22. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
A lot of running backs, a little bit of a disadvantage when you start talking MVP. Might not be the case this year. You think he's got a shot, don't you?
I do. I think he's got more than a shot. But what he's going to need here down the stretch this late in the season, he needs that big closing game, that game that we're all going to reflect on and go, oh, my goodness, did he put up a number, let's say 200 plus?
Now they'll have it 1st and goal following that gain of 17. Play action now. Here's Mayfield. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to set up a 3rd and goal.
Well, the spotlight hit him once already tonight as he got into the end zone. He was trying to make it a double spotlight, wasn't he?
But credit the defense, bottling him up, not letting him get in for the 2nd score there. Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, I think he's as fine with that incompletion as a quarterback can be, in all honesty. He avoided his first sack of the game, and he did have a chance of connecting for yardage, just unable to on that throw.
Going with their tight end on 4th. And he bowls his way into the end zone for a Bengal touchdown. Jimmy Graham.
His first rushing touchdown on the year. And the Bengals' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. A familiar refrain, a turnover leads to a touchdown, and that lead grows even wider now here in this 3rd quarter.
Yeah, partner, I'd say there are a lot of grins breaking out on that sideline because, let's face it, they came in thinking they were in for a real fight in this game, but this one's been about as one-sided as we've seen in a while. In addition, if you're a backup, time to start stretching and loosening up. You may get some playing time in this one.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
And Rodgers will hold on to this one, and it'll come out to the 25.
Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here.
Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team is.
Well, that's the 3rd interception for Lawrence.
Picked off by Quan Williams.
And the Bengals are going to take possession of the football.
Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Hey, it's not the most spectacular play, but I think most teams will take that every single time for the first play of a drive. Begin the series with positive yardage and set yourself up for a very manageable second down.
And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time.
And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. So the rushing touchdowns continue to stack up, CD. That now 15 for him on the year.
And give him a ton of credit for staying healthy, being a smart runner, and it's showing just how important he's been to his team. He's got to be their MVP at this point in the season, and those votes may have been turned into league MVP votes when it's all said and done.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
The drive will start at the 25-yard line here as Rodgers will not return it.
The Bills getting set to go.
Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. Or win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles. But I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage.
They need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing. Now Lawrence on 3rd and long.
And that is incomplete.
Well, partner, they've certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
Fielded just inside the 30. It's a 46-yard punt, 2 on the return. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. The Bengals offense returns to the field. Well, this offense, this team, they are rolling right now, Charles. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. You look at the scoreboard, and they pretty much right now got this thing on cruise control.
Yeah, and this is that time of game where you and I have to be prepared, right? Isn't this kind of like that empty the bucket time where you have to go into your blowout material and make sure you have some different things? That's what we're staring at right now, the way this one is going.
A first down throw for Mayfield.
And looking for McLaurin, but this is intercepted.
Desmond King picks it.
And the Bills are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. Well, with the size of lead that this offense has, I don't think that interception is really going to affect them much. But at least for this defense, something small to hang their hat on.
Yeah, and let's face it, they're not even scoreboard watching anymore, right? They're just trying their best to make a play, get themselves off the field, which they just did, and salvage a little bit of pride in this one.
On 2nd and 9,
Lawrence. And the pressure gets to Lawrence, and he'll go down. Chase Young
bringing the pressure yet again. That's his 3rd sack here tonight.
Just not much a quarterback can do there, CD. The pressure was in his face almost instantaneously, led to a very quick sack.
Yeah, that's one where you turn to your lineman and say, guys, can I get a little help here? And you have to ask politely because, remember, they're blocking for you the entire game. But as a quarterback, you've also got to have the clock running in your head when you need to get rid of the football. But this time, he had no chance. They were on him instantly.
And as we check the next-gen stats, that play lasted just 2.7 seconds from beginning to end. Just not enough time to throw the football. And here's Gillen on now to punt as he gets this one away.
And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The Bengals drive about to get going. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I both enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones. And it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP?
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we can probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it number one for what we've seen this season.
And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35. Now, this one probably not the close game you would expect or hope to see in prime time, CD. But, of course, that wasn't their intent in preparing for this one. They said they felt like their offense was ready to put up some points. And, my goodness, it has been a dominant display in front of a national audience.
Yeah, they thought it, and it certainly came to fruition, didn't it? They've been dominant in so many ways in this one. If you weren't paying attention to this group before, you certainly are now after seeing this type of victory from them.
Henry up the middle. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1.
133 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ball game.
2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal.
Henry is into the end zone for a Bengal touchdown. So he had the nice run to get him down there. Was stopped just short of the goal line, but they go right back to him, CD, and he delivers to finish the drive off.
A little extra determination there, don't you think, partner? You notice he didn't tap on his helmet and say, get me out after the run down to the end zone. He said, I almost got in. I'm going to get in on my own. I'm staying in. And he carries it across the goal line.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here.
And their 4-game win streak very much in jeopardy as they go to work here late with a 1st and 10. Lawrence.
He finds his man, complete. It's James. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Steps away to his left, and he'll just get rid of it.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Again, it's Lawrence.
And the throw there going to be incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted a picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Fair catch called for and made, but now we'll have to see about the penalty.
Personal foul. Roughing a kick. Defense.
That hurts. If it was running into the kicker, wouldn't be a 1st down. Roughing, it is a 1st.
And just think about the differences between the two. Running into the kicker almost feels inadvertent, just a small tap, so to speak. But when you rough him, usually bodies are hitting the ground and flying all different places. And the difference is 5 yards or 15. And in this case, that's a big play.
Way to go. It's a throw again is Lawrence.
And that's incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Lawrence on 3rd down. This one swung out here to Jones.
So nothing doing there, and it'll be 4th down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on 3rd down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
And that is no good. And they will remain well behind. Boy, 4th and 2. This crowd was urging them to go for it, certainly. Instead, they settle for the field goal try, and then they come up with nothing.
Brandon, yeah, football coach won't let the crowd dictate how he calls a football game. He's stuck to his guns. But after the miss, now there's 70,000 coaches in the stands thinking they were right.
A very good starting field position for the Bengals here as they come up 1st and 10 at their 38. They'll start on the ground here with Nwangu. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Another run now for Nwangu. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 7 yards there and a 1st down. On 1st down, they'll run with Nwangu. And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be 2nd down. So instead of running, Mayfield's going to throw it here. That's complete to his receiver, McLaurin. And he's got a 1st down as the tackle made at the Bills' 28. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. Up the middle, Nwangu. And a strong run there as he'll maneuver his way down inside the 15. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down. Straight ahead, here's Nwangu. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. Well, fans usually love to see scoring, and there was no shortage of it today. What a dominant showing from an offense that was truly playing at an elite level in this contest.
Partner, this game was over a long time ago, and you noticed they did not want to slow down anything. Absolutely a dream scenario for everyone on that offense, and they took advantage of every second. Guaranteed popcorn for everyone in their film session.
So for Cincinnati, they continue to show they'll be a tough out in the playoffs as they move to 14-2 on the year.